It was a big night on I'm a Celebrity last night as former Health Secretary Matt Hancock finally arrived in the jungle alongside fellow campmate Sean Walsh.
So to discuss the very latest, we're joined now by two of our This Morning Jungle alumni, Matthew Wright and Lisa Snowdon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lisa, when you were in there, you very much were sort of in control of the kitchen, or you sort of moved towards that cooking pot?
Totally. Straight away, I was the camp cook, which I loved, because it was the most exciting part of the day, was what was going to come down and what was going to be in that
And did you
basket.
have a similar reaction to what Charlene's getting, or did they just let you crack on?
They let me do it, but there was a lot of pressure because they were all just staring at you throughout the whole process of cooking.
Well, you're a master chef.
I know. I was just practising for MasterChef at that stage, but it was like a crocodile leg. I was like, I kept trying to cut that thing, but it was actually really tasty.
So when you're watching George in there giving Charlene a bit of a hard time for taking over, when I watched that, I thought I would have loved it to have been like you. Just away you go. I'm going to sit here and watch. If you want me to wash up, I'll do anything you need me to do. But if you love it, crack on. Why did they give her a hard time?
I think because the days are so long and it just gives you something to do and it's a challenge. And he loves his food, George.
Yeah.
He
and
loves
he's a good cook,
his food and he's a good cook.
Yeah.
So I think that you do, in that case, have to share it out a little bit
Scarlett
and be a bit
tried,
more
didn't
conscious.
She dropped a hint the other day and said, you know, maybe somebody else should cook tomorrow, and that just straight over
Well, she did, didn't she? I think she was cooking last night. Have I got that wrong?
We didn't see much
Was it
of
still
the
Charlene
cooking,
cooking?
but it was Charlene, yeah.
OK, I've got that completely wrong. I thought they were more sharing it.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh.
They're going to have to, though.
They will
It's
in
going to
the end,
kick
aren't
off.
they?
Absolutely.
I think it's going to kick off anyway.
It's going to kick off anyway, yes. Sorry.
So let's talk about that.
Matt Hancock had finally arrived. He had a little stumble and a stacket on the bridge as he walked in, didn't get off to a great start. He arrived. Sean Walsh was with him. Should we have a look?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I thought he, seriously, for a second, I thought he's gone over the side.
Oh,
I bet
that would
he
have
He
been...
disappeared behind the tree. Thought, where the hell has he gone?
Yeah.
Shame about that.
It's quite difficult. You have to think long and hard, particularly, I think, doing this kind of appraisal at this time of hour about what language you can use. Because I'm going to try and play as fair as I can. I think the jungle was looking absolutely banging, and I'm not sure I needed Matt Hancock to walk in. He's quite charming. He's quite... oily, I would say, and he seems to have no awareness of what he's done, presiding over the greatest failure in care that we've ever known. It just seems to have just completely gone over his head.
But do you think he will eventually address that? I mean, it's early doors, isn't it?
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
Charlene, to her credit as the reporter there, did put him on the spot and said, "Why are you here?" And he came out with the old flim-flam of, you know, people don't see me for what I am, as in the guy that presided over the biggest failure in healthcare ever. I want to show them the real me. What, the bloke cheated on his wife. It's just, the whole thing is just... It's
cringy, cringe.
Yes.
There is... Yes. Do you see any sort of redemption for him here? Is this going to... Because when he was talking to Charlene, it looked like he had no real understanding that there might be a massive, great big row going on back home. And so, if that's the case, is he either going to be surprised by this experience? He can't redeem himself, surely, or is he, for even you, Matthew, going to come to the end of this week? He's not going to win it, that's for sure. He won't be there very long. But when he comes out, could you think, oh, he did all right there?
No. I don't see that happening at all. I mean, God help them if he throws a protective ring around the members of the camp. I mean, he might well end up being the only winner, mightn't he? He's
Matthew!
It's difficult. Yeah, I lost somebody in the first wave of COVID. I couldn't go to their funeral. Yeah. Matt Hancock is the man that told me I couldn't go to the funeral, and then we find out he was having a lovely time during lockdown. And it is difficult. It is difficult to...
People will never forget that.
No.
No matter what you do. You know, even if he addresses it and come out, people just won't... You can't forget something like that.
Absolutely not.
It's too painful.
I think he's deluded, the fact that he's gone in there. I'm so confused. Like, when Charlene said, "What are you doing here?" I was like, what are
Well,
you
it was all of their faces trying to figure out, how do I deal with this? You've just walked into a camp that we've begun to establish. You're here. I don't want to wreck my experience for myself. I don't want to bully you. And Boy George saying, I don't know that I can actually be here with him. It was them wrestling with their own minds as to how do I cope with this?
It's going to be hard for George to not say... I mean, it's going to kick off. I can't imagine him keeping it...
The more it's bottled up as well, I think, the more explosive it will be when it happens.
Absolutely.
Like, Sue was very much the voice of reason last night. She's been on Here Is Our Agony Aunt a few times, and you can understand why, because actually she did diffuse that. She was like, that's his thing. You know, you approach this in your own way.
Scarlett was very good as well.
Scarlett, I thought was really different.
Yeah, we all present...
Yeah.
We all present a side to the public down the camera, and then there's the sort of more us side that you get in the jungle, and she's trying to play fair. But it is also, I found it, frankly, a privilege to go into the jungle. It was a great learning experience. I would say I came out of it a better person. You know, Biggins told me it would be a game changer for me, and it was. And I kind of wish that that privilege was bestowed on somebody slightly more deserving than Matt Hancock.
Like yourself.
Yeah. But
not a second ago. No, you're not you. I'm looking at you. You're perfect. Huge star.
You'd be able to do everything, though.
it's the only one I do.
He'd be able to eat everything, do everything, he wouldn't be bothered.
It's the only one I do, but the answer is currently, and I've asked all the time. No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I never say never to anything.
I am never doing it.
No, but you'd be great on Strictly. Anyway, moving on. Tonight's trial, the Tentacles of Terror. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this clip they've just sent us.
Oh, you've got to hold your breath for a long time.
Yeah, you do. You know you don't have to hold your breath.
Oh, I don't.
Just him.
Oh. Yes, get it in your bag. Good going, this. Down we go again. Your air hole gets smaller.
What did you call him?
Air hole.
Those boys are true geniuses.
So he seems to be approaching all of these trials very confidently.
Yeah.
He's in. He's doing it.
He's breezing it, isn't he?
He's just come off an SAS show, hasn't he? So he looks...
He's like, Eye of the Tiger. Nothing's going to faze me. So I really hope that people stop voting for him.
Well, this becomes quite interesting. That the idea that, you know, Matt Hancock did us down, so we're going to get our revenge and put him in the stocks, the 21st century equivalent of the stocks. I don't think that will work when people just see him storming through each one, not having a problem, which will probably mean that he's going to be more likely to go out first, I should think.
Do you think so?
I think most people believe that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
If you have to vote to keep someone in, then,
They won't be voting for him.
It's an interesting choice between that and
Just
everyone
Boris
else
Johnson,
that you-
one phone.
Really? It is fascinating, and it's also interesting to see what his constituents are saying and other MPs.
Ed Sheeran, I want to hear from Ed Sheeran. Did you see him murder that song yesterday?
He must have thought, oh God, no.
It's always awkward when somebody says, what's your favourite band, though, isn't it? Unless you're like a proper muso. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What
We haven't
should I
actually got
say?
that, though, haven't we?
Please
Here we
don't
go,
sing
here we
it.
go.
I can't unhear it.
Here it is.
Between my eyes. That one. Barefoot on the cross. Don't get me singing, I'm terrible.
No,
Listening to my favourite song when you saw you... What's it called? Perfect. It's called Perfect.
Yes!
It's one of the...
Oh, gosh.
I love it.
How to ruin a song.
He just can't unsee it
Thank
or
you both.
unhear it.
Thank you very much.